Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
Hi, I'm Tracy Soren.
Tracy, what are we going to do?
I don't know.
Not
I
enough?
don't know.
We didn't practice this enough?
I don't know. I was a little bit too late. Guys, sorry.
Hi, everybody. By the way, they love you, the audience. I don't know if you checked out the forums, that kind of thing. You are adored. You got them through a tough time. You, of course, were on the day after the election results.
Yes, I was. Well, you guys got me through a tough time.
Ah.
I was the only thing I, really did that day socially or saw people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, let me say this. We were recording this on Friday, November 11th. It comes out on Monday. I want to be clear what day we recorded it on because who the fuck knows what's going to happen over the weekend. I'll be shitting on Trump. Next thing you know, it turns out he's dead. And
Exactly.
I'm an asshole. So who knows? But anyway, that, of course, means it's Veterans Day. So if anybody in the room has anything they want to say, now's a good time. No? Okay, interesting. There just better be a lot of presents when I get home. All right. Today's guest, well, you know her and you care for her as well. Host of Wrap It Up. In fact, there's going to be a live Wrap It Up election special on Saturday. So if you're hearing this on Monday, get a time machine. It's going to be a good time. Also the host of the Reverse What's My Name episodes with Hemda, Libby Phillips.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
I remember the day after the election, and I came in, and I go, hey, how's it going? And Libby's like,
Yeah.
and then I go, yeah, I hear you. And then I sit down, and Libby goes, is it funny now? You said one time it might be funny. Is it funny now? I'm like, I don't know. I voted correctly, and I told my audience to do the right thing.
Yeah,
Once you thought it was fucking funny.
You said it how many times? Was it one? Or was it dozens and dozens of times about how burn it all down? It'd be funny if Trump was president.
Well, I'll tell you.
And here we are with Fear Trump.
Burn it all
Congratulations. Thank you, Keith.
Well, to think, to go back, should we have stopped this man earlier? Who would we have stopped him with? A Ted Cruz? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people that look like they could challenge Trump were evil. As well.
Honestly, and I thought about this right before the election. Remember when Jeb Bush said, please clap?
Right.
It's going to haunt me
Right.
for the rest of my life. His please clap. I'm just like, your dad was president, your brother, and then you're asking for, it's like a talent show magician.
Right.
It just made me so sad.
I long for Jeb Bush now.
I know. I'll take please clap any day.
Yeah.
I was alive during, of course, and able to vote during the second term of George Bush Jr. That was shocking to me. I looked at people like they had a character flaw. So
Yeah.
I don't know if this is so different. I don't know.
I think it's different because I was alive. I wasn't able to vote in that
Right.
election, but I do remember a similar feeling of what just happened right after that, but not to this extent because Bush had done a lot of bad things, but he was still being presidential in that he was saying the things that a politician is supposed to say. And I know he was goofy and he fucking, choked on pretzels and whatnot, but he wasn't saying let's round people up. He wasn't saying,
fascist.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes.
He was just somebody who just wanted to paint. You know what I mean? Secretly, just like Hitler. Just kidding. But he wanted to, he just he also, like you said, I think what's so shocking is even if he wasn't a good politician, he still was a politician.
Exactly.
It's you can be a doctor and not be the best doctor, but you're still a doctor.
And
it's
also, sorry, just for the record, fuck George Bush because he didn't vote. So he didn't vote for president.
Right.
So blood is on his hands.
George, he didn't vote at all?
He didn't vote for president. He voted Republican down the rest of the ticket. He abstained. He didn't care for any of the choices.
Which is pretty telling, by the way. And to be clear, I don't remember the George Bush rape allegations.
Exactly.
And
I
that's,
mean, I don't want this to be George Bush is great. He's better than Trump, but that doesn't mean, he's still very, very low on the totem pole of a good person.
Last night, my friend Joe and I were on the train coming home, and we were having this conversation about Donald Trump and a guy who was an immigrant, but he's been here for a very long time, grew up in Kansas. I learned all this last night. Turned around and was who'd you guys? He's I don't want to interrupt. And he looked like he was probably 30, whatever. He's I don't want to interrupt, but who did you vote for? And we were both oh, Hillary. And he went on this whole thing on the train, which was he really blamed Bernie supporters. This guy. Well, first of all, he was it's all about sexism. was his thing. And then he was like, Bernie supporters and the people that didn't come out to vote were the issue. But I like these little moments where strangers all start talking.
Right.
And there was 2 women sitting across who were like listening, but like pretending like they weren't involved. And the guy was like, well, would you rather Trump? And like, would you rather have Trump? And me and my friend Joe were like, oh God, no. And like everyone like close to us in the train just started laughing. And I was like, at least there was that moment where like this man, who is not a white man, who has an immigrant, he's like, and he said, I just want this country to have progress and to do well.
Right.
And I just feel like I'm losing my mind. And it was raining. He's like, and I was gloomy. And it was like a great New York moment. I felt where I was like, this guy felt like he was okay, comfortable coming into our conversation because everyone's just in New York, at least in like this morning in New York City, I would say, in that like bubble.
Well, today Tracy was catcalled and gives this look back to the guy. And I feel like, I wasn't there, but I picture the guy apologizing like, oh, right, it is too soon. Sorry, you're not pretty. Okay, sorry.
As if I had lasers coming out of my eyes, I would have burned his fucking face off. Like, it's always so surprising. Like, I was walking my dog once at like 7 it was like 8 in the morning, whatever, with like, I had a hood on, pajamas, and this guy catcalled me. And I looked and I went, are you... I was like, I literally said, while I'm walking my dog? It was like, and he was stuck in traffic. He couldn't get away. He was like, I was just trying to like say hello. And I was like, absolutely not.
If only there was a word for that, by the way, when you do want to say hello to a stranger, which we all love doing.
Exactly right. From a car. I was just like, this is unbelievable to me.
See, but doesn't that give you hope because things are returning to normal?
Oh yeah, it's horrible. It's just like, oh God.
No, there's been an eerie. I haven't been out that much because I haven't felt very social, but I did go on the train yesterday, and it felt like everyone was so somber. Like everyone was just kind of like going through the motions. Right. It was the last time I heard it this quiet was during a blizzard. I don't remember ever hearing just like the streets. I was, downtown New York. Like, there's nothing really. Nobody has anything to say.
Right. It looks really like Vanilla insane. Sky. You're the only one walking around.
Yeah,
yeah, creepy.
Well, Tracy's going out with her grandma tonight.
I am.
Having a little dinner. She happens to be a Trump supporter. Now, do you say right away, we can't talk about it. Let's just have our early bird and go the fuck home. You call the restaurant ahead of time and like act like you're closing in 15 minutes. We're the only ones here anyway.
This happens. Well, in college, this has been my whole life with my grandmother, who I love very, very much. And she's very dear. She's 89 years old. So she's not the Trump supporter who's going to change her mind, right? We don't need to be going that, like, to be quite frank, it's like if I'm going to I want to have dialogue with Trump supporters. I want to see what's going on. But my 89-year-old grandmother is lost at this point in my head, just because, you're not going to change an 89-year-old. But, this has been forever. I'm the Obama lover. I'm that in that family. I studied Black studies and women's studies in college.
By the way,
minor.
When they call you Obama lover, that's code.
They honestly, like, it's something that my bubby, and it's, it makes sense, right? She's like, she lives alone. Now she has an aide who comes, but she's like always watching TV, and she's watching Fox News, and she's watching Bill O'Reilly, and like she's sitting there marinating with not a lot to do. She's not as mobile. So this is what she wants to talk about. And it's been a thing in my family of just like, we cannot. Because I used to fight. I used to be like, and I'm just like, what's the, what?
I might have,
what's the point?
Yeah, I might have a brother that voted for Trump, and I'm not going to find out. I don't want to know.
Yeah, well,
I want to respect them.
Right. I mean, because you'll exactly. Well, that's the thing with family. It's tough. I mean, I blatantly I will call my family racist to their face. Do it all the time. I tell my Bobby, you're racist all the time. I'm always like,
bye, Bobby, you're racist.
Yeah. It's like, so many of my family members, I have these dialogues, and I don't shy away from it. It's just specifically at dinner in a public place with my grandmother. I'm like, it isn't the time.
Right. Are you nervous? Like, you'll do one of your cute videos with your grandma, and she'll say something silly like, you really should marry this man. And then you just like, fuck off.
I know. There's things that, it's like, luckily in video and we're editing it. It's like, we're going to put in the funniest and cutest parts, guys. When she said the thing in the video of like, hey, she does this thing in one of our videos, and I think that's what you were, Keith, relating to, where she was like, I never tell anyone to get married. And me and my sister my sister was actually right close to us but couldn't see it.
Right.
And she's older and we both look at her like I was like, you're out of your freaking mind. Like all you do, like not as much anymore because she's used to it. But it's this whole thing now. I'm very and my Bobby knows I'm bisexual, and she's always like, "What's going on here? Like, why aren't you married?" And I'm literally always like, I think I've said this before, but I'm always like, just be like, you're pushing it too far. It could be not what you wanted.
When she says that on camera, that I never tell anyone, is that her like? Is it no self-awareness, or is it trying to like keep up appearances, like for like, oh no, I'm not like this. Like,
I think she believes that my Bobby always goes, like, I'm just trying to make conversation. Like, I think that's what she thinks she's doing.
Just
like,
playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, she's just like, it's not like a push. It's not like she doesn't see it as like a push in in her mind, but she's just like, I'm 89 and I just want to talk. Like that's it.
I'm just asking a question. Why won't you get married today?
Why?
I'm throwing it out
there.
there.
Married. You've been dating since you were 23 years. Like since I've been 23. You know, after a year of dating him, she was like, what's happening? Now at almost 30, she's like, I'm going to shut the fuck up a little bit, you know?
Do you feel like there should be like an Obama PSA and he's on television and he's saying, look, we all know somebody or know somebody who's married to somebody
exactly.
that voted Trump. I mean, it's so weird. You know, we were saying the other day how you went from a black president to a president supported by the KKK. And Trump's almost laughing like, look at this fucking buffoon going against, you know, a competent person. And now he has to tweet out, just had a great talk.
I know.
With Donald Trump. That doesn't make his stomach turn. You see
Of course it does.
Yeah.
I retweeted somebody, a black woman. I'm forgetting her Twitter handle, but she said something like, "This is just Obama having to meet with Trump is just the latest in a long line of indignities that black people have had to face in this country. This is nothing new. And this is why 95% of black women voted for Clinton because they knew the stakes.
Right.
And they tried. they did their goddamnedest to prevent this from happening.
As they always do.
Yeah. And nobody else gave a fuck, as we white people always do.
But I also
let it burn. I heard a lot of.
Of course. Well, that was what I was going to say, which was after we had our conversation on Wednesday, a lot came out about this. You know, who were these people? Were they all just racist? Right? When I was watching on Tuesday night with my boyfriend, we were like, oh God, these racist, sexist, whatever. But at the same time, there is a very real. It's all complex. It doesn't just boil down to sex. Like the guy in the train was like, it is sexism, period, and Bernie. But it was me and my friend Joe were like, well, but it's also these blue collar workers or these people in rural impoverished places who just wanted to see it burn. They're not even at social issues. They don't even care. They can't get there. They're not worried about it. They can't make ends meet.
Right.
So they wanted to throw a fucking bomb. And that's what they did.
Yeah, I agree that it's definitely a combination of, it's no one thing.
No.
But yeah, the people who are saying that it's just sexism or the other thing I've heard is it's internalized misogyny, which is a real thing.
Yes.
But again, somehow black women were able to get over their internalized misogyny. So what the fuck were white women doing? Being fucking racist like we always are.
Right.
Like,
is there a somebody brought up the point, is it Stockholm syndrome? Are women like, hey, this is the way it is, and they're, you know what I mean?
I think it's racism, a lot of it.
Sure. I think a lot of it is racism, but I also think white women our privilege blinds us even to the patriarchy. We are seen as pristine and not tampered with. Like we are. Our beauty standards we're the thing or whatever, and we because of that, because of our whiteness, I think a lot of times things bounce off of us. We don't internalize them. We don't see the oppression so clearly. We get catcalled, and like we live in a city, so we get catcalled all the time. But if you're in a car and you're always driving anywhere, your catcalls way down probably. So you're just sitting there and you're growing up around the same people you grew up with, and your whiteness allows you to not have to confront why Why do I grow my hair long? Why do I want to shave my armpits? Why do I feel like I can't speak up in class? Why, when I'm younger, boys' arms shoot up and girls go? If you stop and listen, and when I started to do this in college, right? If you stop and listen, majority, and in meetings when I worked in an office space, women will go, this idea, I don't know, I had it, but I don't know if I should say this, but it's dumb. But and men are like, hey, I want to put my dick in this hole. It's a great idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, white women don't face it all the time, so they ignore it.
I feel like we also want to believe. I think a lot of women want to believe that we don't. Like that we have some power over our own lives. And so if the patriarchy is, if we're already at a disadvantage to start, it can be just fucking depressing. Like you want to think, no, I have the control over this. No one is holding me back. It's up to me. And that's kind of that Sheryl Sandberg. Is that her name? Am I getting that wrong? The Lean In. Yeah. That's her kind of like school of feminism, is like, you control it. Like you lean in, you can make this happen. Right. And that's the whole America, lift yourself up by your bootstraps. And that's a nice, like, that's an empowering thought in a lot of ways, but it also dismisses systematic racism and sexism.
It does.
So,
and that's the issue with a lot of people have with that's why the whole thing with white feminism is a huge problem. A lot of white feminists don't even think about this. They don't realize it. It's we ignore the struggles of women of color or women of, trans women or, LGBT, whatever. All these other type of, the white straight woman is just going, this is what I think. And this, I haven't thought, I will say this with the understanding that I have conflicting, I ping pong back, but this is how I feel about free the nipple a little bit, right? I think, show your nipple, but like, this isn't the first thing we should be fighting for in my head. Like, I can't imagine, but then I'm like, I don't want to tell people what to fight for or do what you want. You're like, if you think free the nipple is the biggest thing. But in my head, I go, is this the most important thing to trans women?
Right.
To women of color? Is this like, and I don't want to speak on behalf of anybody that I'm not.
I go to all the free the nipple rallies.
Yeah, exactly. But every time I'm like, I see that that's the biggest, and I feel like sometimes I largely see that it's white feminists. I could be wrong and forum me out and tell me I'm an asshole if I'm wrong.
I'm sorry, but I have a thought.
It's like I don't, but like it's just I don't want to, it's hard because you don't want to shame anybody for what they feel strongly about.
Right. Well, that's fine. Like that can be your cause, but I think what you're saying is it's kind of exemplary of white feminism where like, if this is what you're putting at number one, how about how about we just focus in on what the real priorities are?
Right. Like we say, Latino women make 54 cents. Sorry to interrupt you, but they make 54 cents to act, and we're talking about 76 for 5, whatever it is now, 74 cents, 77 cents. But that's a white woman's dollar.
Exactly. You hear this all the time. The wage gap is 74 cents, 75, whatever,
to
the dollar. It's not. That's for white women.
Exactly.
So again, we are much more privileged. Yeah, I think black women, it's like
64 cents. And I think Latino women is the lowest.
Don't you want to hear what happens after in that bedroom after the president has to talk to Donald Trump and the first lady has to talk to Melania Trump.
Yeah.
And like they're people. You like, first of all, I guess I would
just
like
heavy
if
sighs.
I know.
right, because you have to assume everything's bugged, right?
Yeah, so it's just I can't. This is why, their family is, they're the epitome of grace and like because you know what, Hillary and him, if they would have both said fuck this, I would have went yeah,
that's fair.
Fair.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear Obama's speech? It was so downtrodden, and he is a gifted public speaker. Obviously, it's one of the things he's known for. And it was like he could barely get the fucking words out. Like, I mean, I only heard the audio. I didn't see it, but it sounded like he had his hand on his forehead, just like, I can't believe I'm having to say these words right now.
Well, because his legacy. Think about his legacy.
Yeah.
Everything he worked for, that the Republicans shit on him. They were so, which came out of race. They were just so, everything. Van Jones, I'm sure you guys saw this, but he on CNN was like, this is a white lash. This is what this is it. That's what that is. People, he worked so hard. Everything he's done. And now they can come in and dismantle a lot of it.
Right.
Because why? because he was a progressive black man in the office? Would they be doing this otherwise?
I heard some of the speech, and he's like, "We need Americans to come together." Oh,
yeah, he's like throwing up to the side.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
It's a freaking nightmare.
I mean, there's shaking hands, and I know that's what you have to do to calm people down. But Donald Trump's like, hey, remember, I always knew you were American. Ah!
Yeah. Did you hear what Donald Trump said afterwards? He goes, "I'm going to be seeking Obama for counsel.
Okay,
he's
sure.
a great man." And I go, if you don't see that this is a sociopath.
Right.
This human's a sociopath. He just spent 6 years or whatever, 8 years.
Yeah.
Saying that he was a horrific man. He's not American born. Like, this is a sociopath human being.
Well, he asked the question, is he legal? And 8 years later, we found out he is indeed a natural born citizen, and I can look at him to counsel now. By the way, it has nothing to do with being racist. The rules are rules, and if the rules are you weren't born in America, I'm just asking the question.
Of course. Over and over again.
Yeah, it's not a witch hunt at all.
Right. Nowadays, you can't ask questions, apparently.
Right.
Everybody's so PC.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Let me tell you guys about something fun, if I may.
Please
Just to break this up for a second. I want to tell you about this company called Loot Crate.
Okay. Loot Crate, you say?
I got one right here.
Okay.
It's a Loot Crate
nice
box.
box.
It's a very nice box. By the way, the box, and I'll explain what it is, you can cut out the side of the box. It's perforated, and it's a mask. I got
love
this
stuff like that.
Yeah, just in time for Halloween. Be the envy of your friends and get your 100% exclusive crates at lootcrate.com. I'll explain. Lootcrate.com/KATG. Enter code KATG also and save $3 off on any new subscription. Lootcrate.com/KATG. And on top of that, enter code KATG to save $3. So I open up my October box. It's a Halloween box, right? So I have this cute little doll, Texas Chainsaw Massacre doll.
Oh, how adorable. It is cute.
That
It
is
is really
adorable.
cute.
I'm going to cut off your skin and wear
Yeah.
it. It's a cute
It's a cute thing.
We'll put pictures up on the website. One of these little flags, Camp Crystal Lake, you could have had on your house. Walking Dead T-shirt. Who's that new guy that's causing trouble, right? Legan.
Negan.
That looks like a nice soft T-shirt.
It does.
Good quality.
Look, feel that. Feel that.
Oh,
There we
that
go.
is nice.
Yeah, remember how you started killing all your favorite characters?
Oh, yeah. I know. Oh. Wow.
I got a book in this box. Oh, in the same box. It's not a trick box. This is the Legion of Regrettable Supervillains.
Ooh.
So, funny little things about
Is Trump in there?
the
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Little Halloween pin I got. I have Freddy
I love
Krueger.
Halloween.
Freddy Krueger chopsticks.
This is adorable.
Right? And here's
I love stuff like this.
and here's that mask I was talking about on the inside of the box.
I don't like that mask. I don't
No,
like
I
that.
hate it,
I don't
but
like
it's
that. I don't
cool.
like that.
Well, it's just a bonus.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
point is they waste nothing of the box.
Even the box.
Yes, even the box.
They use the whole deer, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so here's what you do. Get ready for November's enchanting theme. This was horror, of course. November, magical.
Okay, we need some magic.
Ooh,
I'm
yeah.
on board. Where do
Oh,
I
they
sign
knew
up
it.
for this fucking Loot Crate?
Yeah, exactly.
Give me the thing again, Keith.
Loot Crate has cast a powerful ancient spell to deliver you November's Crate, featuring bewitching items from Doctor Strange, an A+ movie I saw, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them,
I want to see that so bad.
Big Trouble in Little China, and so much more. Do not wait. You have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific. They're very serious about this. To subscribe for November's Crate. When it's over, it's over. No more crates. Fuck you. Go to lootcrate.com/KATG and enter the code KATG to save $3 off any new subscription today. All right?
Wow.
Thank
Done.
you.
There we go.
Now, speaking of horror, let's get back to this.
Oh, God.
Libby Phillips tweeted, "I had more faith in humanity than this. I don't know why."
Yeah, true.
I hear you. By the way, somebody just wrote me, because I was pro Bernie. My wife, who can't even vote, was going literally door to door for him. And but I made bets with people, 2 people, $50 bets each, that Bernie would not win. It didn't feel practical to me. And if Bernie did win, I feel like, all right, I paid $100 and got him in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this person wrote me and said, all right, here's your $50. I'm like, well, yeah, it's not looking good now.
No, exactly.
He goes, nope, not one bit. So thank
People
you.
were talking about that a lot. I feel like I feel like this is another thing I'm ping-ponging in my head about, like, could Bernie have won? Because a lot of people were like, well, he could have gotten Michigan, and he could have gotten, Wisconsin.
Right.
He would have won. He could have got that working class vote. He was the bomb on our side that they would have thrown. But then a lot of people were like, they weren't going to vote a Jew socialist.
Exactly. The
Like-
same people who voted the racist fascist in
Yeah.
are going to vote in a Jewish socialist?
Yeah,
I
I mean-
fucking doubt it.
People are really debating this, and I'm just like, I don't know. One day I'm like, well, he could have gotten, because it was Wisconsin and Michigan. It's like, if he could, maybe he could have gotten the electoral with that. But then
Right.
I'm also like, as a Jewish person, I'm like, nah. They ain't feeling it.
And there's no way to know for sure, but also
Yeah.
like during the debates, I was a Bernie supporter at first.
Yeah.
And during the debates, I flipped for Hillary because I was like, he has no fucking clue what he's talking about when it comes to foreign policy. And he clearly could not be less interested. Like he wanted nothing to do with it. He has his issue. It's the economy,
Yeah.
and he's passionate about it and he knows a lot about it, and that's great. But like, he didn't seem to want to know the rest of the presidency. And Hillary, does her fucking homework, obviously. So, and she's been Secretary of State, so that's
Right.
a strong point for her. But that was one of the reasons that I was like,
Interesting.
she will make a better president.
You think is Joe Biden kicking himself? Like, man, I could have.
That's what the pundits were saying, because
Yeah.
he would have won.
I want to be clear. Women especially, obviously, are nervous about the pussy grabbing. It doesn't start until January 20th. I want people to be clear.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It hasn't been
Yeah.
going on our whole lives.
And yeah, no one will be emboldened by having a rapist for a president,
Right.
which I'm sure we've had before. But
Oh, yeah.
the fact that it's
We know.
so public and so many women came forward before the election.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, this is what this, it's just such, they spit in our faces.
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
said, women, fuck you. Here's your president.
Women
Deal
said
with
that.
it. Yeah.
Women said that.
Right.
That's what they did. They were on. There was a woman on, and I don't know if I said this on Wednesday, but there was a woman on who, when I was watching the coverage, that voted for Trump. She was like sitting at one of those bars, and they were like interviewing her, and she was like, "I don't know. I say that about men. I say all of that about men.
Okay.
It's weird if you don't." And I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, it's weird if you don't say you're gonna grab their balls. Like, what is this? Like." All of my married friends, it's like, this is what you're doing over wine, like your wine coolers. You're talking about grabbing dicks.
Ghost Mom rates a good point. Oh, God, the wall was to keep us in. I wrote on Facebook, I was saying this the other day. Okay, so here I am in Canada, feeling kind of alone because a couple of you people are lying. Brother loves dad. I didn't realize. It's a hardcore Republican. Trump supporter. This is one of my closest friends. And I know the dad. I've slept at his house. It couldn't be nicer to my wife and I. But he writes, enjoy the winter and don't come back.
Right.
Now I'm thinking, all right, you're being silly. You're not, the whole
Yeah,
world's
yeah.
not comedians, okay? But then I write, totally separate. I'm not engaging him per se. And I said, this was my wife actually said this. Let's be clear. It's not that all Trump supporters are white racists. It's that all white racists are Trump supporters.
Right.
And then he wrote on that comment, now it's time for all to ignore your racist meathead in quotes commentary. And then I'm like,
Wow.
well, come on, man. I know you.
Yeah.
First of all,
Oh, yeah. They don't
be a
care.
good sport. Congrats. I'm a little angry right now.
Right.
And then I couldn't help myself, and I wrote, you have meathead in quotes for a reason. I wrote, do you know that meathead was the smart one in all of the family? Peace and love, wink face.
Right.
Right. I really don't think everybody got the joke of All in the Family.
I mean, yeah, well, that's the. And remember that? Remember All in the Family? It was a sitcom. I mean, I think this is also another a huge issue that we spoke about on Wednesday, which is like, everyone is so afraid to be called a racist, and they're more afraid to be called a racist than to deal with their racism.
Yeah.
And that is the problem. It's everyone's afraid to be called a sexist. Everyone's afraid. Everyone is so being called a racist is worse than being called a cunt. Seriously, like it's like you can't. It's like we all this is the issue, and this is because like lives are literally being killed. Black people being killed. People of color are being killed by cops. I mean, and by other, the whole police movement. That's all internalized racism, and that's why we want community policing and all of that type of stuff. But the fact that we just don't want to confront that we're racists, it's like a horrible, horrible, horrible thing.
Right. But and you also because it's clear how scared people are about it because never mind my wife's clever wordplay. You just saw the word racist
and flipped out.
And you went crazy.
And flipped out.
Right. Like, look at the other people making comments on Trump's side. Wouldn't you go like, hey, I'm into Trump. I'm into what he's saying. I don't know what to tell you, but I can't admit, whoops, a couple assholes are on my side.
Exactly.
But no, you just have to.
People think that if they're not, saying the N-word every other second, they're not a racist. Instead of, trying to address, well, do you think that Black people are just lazy? Like, if you think that, then there might be a reason. And we've never addressed it in this country. Is the thing. Like, after apartheid, they had those, I forget what they're called, but they basically, everyone would go into like these rooms and they just had a communal, it was people from both sides, pro and against apartheid, and everyone was basically like pardoned, and it was like you just spoke about your experiences, and it was like a national healing, and we have never done that in this country.
No, because we ignore it.
Yeah.
We ignore it. And especially now it's like, well, because now what are they going to say? We had a Black president. Racism doesn't exist. Well,
they have been saying.
Right. Yeah. That's what they said. But now we voted a KKK supported president in. So that never, first of all, it never mattered. And just because you like Oprah doesn't mean that you don't have internalized racism. We all do.
Right.
Like, it's just, and this is what's crazy. If you ever watch Russell Brand's interviews like now, later, he speaks a lot about a lot of social issues. Okay. And you think that you would be like this guy from like, freaking whatever that movie. Oh my god!
Right.
He's the one. But it's true. Like he sits there and he was talking about how like if someone came up to him and was like, "You're being pretty sexist right now," he'd go, I can't do a British accent well, but he'd be like, "Oh right, yeah, I should like take a fucking minute and just go, sorry, let me reflect."
I talk fast.
Right, like that's it. Like, sorry, I was like, let me just reflect for like a second.
Yeah, we need to learn how to reflect instead of just being so defensive right away. And clearly, a lot of people wanted to say, well, we can't be racist. We elected a Black president, and then hate groups spiked after it went up like 100% after during Obama's presidency. And the same thing happened after Brexit. Hate crimes have gone up in England and Wales 41% since Brexit. Right. So it's going to be a real cool, chill atmosphere here in America. The next, I don't know how long Trump will last. Any bets on how long it takes him to get impeached?
I wonder if he's like, I'm literally like, is he going to want to impeach himself?
I still think by accident he could impeach himself. He could
seems
literally
pretty
fire
bummed
himself.
About getting the job.
I think he's fucking miserable. I was saying this last night. He had the fucking life, dude. He had.
That's a huge pay cut. You have to like show up every day. What are you doing?
He has Secret Service up his ass.
Well, you see these presidents, and it could be even just 4 years, and they come out looking 50 years older.
Oh, yeah. And he's already 70.
Right. So what's Trump going to look like? Can he make it? He'll be fine. You just wake up later. What are you going to do? Wait for him. He's not ready.
Yeah. Exactly. I honestly feel like he I don't think he's gonna last. I don't think he'll last through.
That's not a comfort though, because Pence is way worse than him.
Well, Pence knows the system too.
Yeah.
So
Ted Alexander wrote on Facebook, and I'm gonna assume this is true, but he said he heard a little boy with his mom, and he's saying, well, maybe Trump will change his mind and be nice.
Oh God.
The kids, Molly Neffel, who co-hosted, she teaches kids, and a lot of it's in the Bronx, so a lot of them are immigrants, and they're all asking if they're going to get deported.
Oh yeah,
it's fucking heartbreaking.
Horrible.
Like
it's horrible. It's horrific. It's literally horrific.
Sparrow brings up the point: white Christian oppression is Starbucks not having snowflakes on their winter cups.
Exactly.
I think that's a good place to start in trying to understand the things ahead of us.
Right. It's just so from my perspective, it's always so like, and it's not a laughing matter now because look what's happened. But my whole life, I always laughed at like Christian people, sorry, who are like, you want to say holidays? Like, I always was like, Jesus fucking like Christ here, like.
Oh, they don't
get
like
over
that.
I know. I say that all the time, and it's just like this is what we're dealing with. These like. They feel oppressed because they can't have a Christmas tree. It's like, take it from me, like you as a young kid who didn't celebrate Christmas, and I grew up in a very Jewish neighborhood at the time. I had a lot of Jewish friends, but I'd always just be like, what about, like, you don't realize as a child you can't process. You just go, I'm the other. Like that's what you process. You go, why on TV? Why they have the nebbish Jew and they have the one kid who like has a yarmulke, like, you know what I mean? And they're always
asthma.
like, an asthma. That's exactly what it is. And I'd always just be like, what about me?
Yeah.
So it's like this, and I'm a fucking white person.
Right.
Can you imagine?
Right.
Can you imagine? Like, and then these people are just, and I'm a huge Bachelor fan, which I think everyone might, you know. But I love the Bachelor.
If you know anything about me,
I'm a huge Bachelor fan, and I follow all of them on Instagram. And literally the day of the election, the day after the results, they were all like posting their love pictures. They have to, right? They have to get their money and their sponsorships. But I'm like, what the fuck is going on with these white people? Like, what is this?
Someone tried to chat me up on a dating app on the night of the election at like 11 p.m. And I just want to be like, if you're not distraught right now,
It ain't gonna work.
There's nothing in common that we have.
It ain't gonna work.
hey, this is something, isn't it? And then picture of balls comes in.
It's not. It's like I went to my therapist, and that's what this is what we spoke about. We spoke about the election.
Yeah.
Right.
Yesterday.
He has a script by now, though.
Oh, yeah,
I hear it went up. No joke. I was just reading therapy, skyrocketing. It's their season. Yeah.
I mean, how could it not?
Yeah, I'm just clinging on to the small things. I didn't want to be positive. My family is in a group text, and they were trying to like look on the bright side and stuff. And I was like, I'll try tomorrow.
Right.
I'm angry and sad today, and I will be for the foreseeable future. But I ended up going out yesterday because I worked on Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he gave. I was really glad I did because I didn't feel like being social. I didn't want to go, but
he made it clear the galaxy's big and we will colonize other planets.
Yeah. He basically said, like, you know, science obviously is his passion, and like this show is what he can do to try and make America smart again.
Yeah.
And you know, it's more important now than ever. It's not just for us doing a fun, you know, TV show. It's like we have to, and I know they've been talking about like what the episodes are going to be for next season, and it's just like I feel like if everyone does what they can do, you know, not everyone can do everything, not everyone can save everyone, but if everyone can just do what they can to help each other, I feel like we will be okay.
Right.
That's the only thing that I have to cling to.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that this is what at least I think a lot of white liberals are, you know, are getting a wake up call, which is terrible to people of color who are saying, "Oh, this has been our lives, you fucking morons." But
welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party, which Amber Ruffin had this great segment on late night last night on Seth Meyers, and where she was like, "Join the fun, like we've been here this whole time," like that. It was really good, and
She's
you know,
great.
and she was just like dancing a lot. It was very funny, but then she had like a nice moment of like, you know, which was very heartwarming. But
it was funny. Then she passed out tissue.
And then she passed out, and everyone was crying. But you know, I think a lot of people now, and a lot of young people, whether any type of white, not white, whatever, are like, we have to do something. Like, it's not enough to have a hashtag, which everyone knew logically, but now this feels like it's like akin to I don't want to say 9/11, the aftermath of it, but it's like a huge national event that will mobilize people is what I'm trying to get at.
Do you think after Trump won, he had Melania put on that Statue of Liberty hat and just fucked her so hard?
Oh my god!
Oh god, I could throw up.
Ugh.
It's not even, and this was another thing that I came out of. I like, because I'm getting very overly political because I don't give like I said, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, this is the time. So I posted, because I was seeing a lot of people share her nude photos, and I was like, I posted, I was like, you sharing it is just as sexist.
Yeah,
this is
no
not the
shit.
point. This isn't the fucking conversation. Who cares that she did a nude photo? It's her fucking body.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Why are we shitting on the shaming her is not going to change anything.
It doesn't matter.
It's just as sexist.
Right.
Like,
it's not about her at all.
Yeah.
Maybe they think the pictures are hot and you're just taking it wrong. And they're like, let's all enjoy.
That's one guy. One guy was like, "Isn't it just dirty and perverted?" I was like, "You shared it. You tell me." Yeah. So I said to him, "I was like, you're the one who shared it. I didn't share it." Like, it's so crazy to me how people are like, "We can't. It was sexism," and then they're like, "Look at her vag," and it's like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Is it weird that her platform is universal waxing?
You know what? I'm not behind it. I'll tell you that much.
I met a 14-year-old girl named Aisha the other day.
Oh God!
With a bush that broke my heart.
I just wonder what this woman really wants. I feel bad for her. I feel like she's trapped.
Well, I saw a picture, and we'll put these pictures that I mentioned, of course, on the website. But it's a picture of Melania eating what you would think would be spaghetti, but you look closer, and it's diamonds and jewels and necklaces.
Oh, gosh.
And I remember when Michelle Obama got confused between diamonds and spaghetti.
Oh, yeah. And then she was like, carrots. It has to be carrots. We have a garden for a reason.
I got to make this food pyramid more understandable.
God.
I almost ate a bracelet.
The one thing that I think people haven't been speaking about, obviously, because the racism, the sexism, the economy issues, but also like climate change. Mm-hmm. I'm like shitting my pants because we're like dying. We're killing this planet, and he doesn't believe it.
I keep thinking of new and horrible aspects of the Trump presidency, because it's just like they could so easily overturn Roe v. Wade now. Like, goodbye abortion rights.
I mean, well, didn't Obama he did something to protect Planned Parenthood, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't
it doesn't Roe v. Wade.
Yeah.
It does not. It does not.
Which is so weird, and I've said this before, which is so weird that everything can switch every 4 years?
Right. I mean, and
well,
some of
Supreme
it
Court
is
justice.
difficult.
It's because of the Supreme Court
Right.
justice.
Yeah. So
they're trying to push Obama's people are trying to push Obama's nomination in.
Yeah, I know. I'm afraid to hope for anything at this point, though. Like, I was talking to my mom, and she's like, well, a lot of the Republicans weren't even with Trump. You have to think that some of those people in Congress are going to have enough sense to not let him get through all this stuff. And I just go, and what have we learned about the Americans' a sense of common sense in the past few days? Is
or
it
loyalty
great?
to their own morals or policies?
It's not looking great.
No.
And of course, you see attacks already towards Muslims, especially Muslim students. NYU had a prayer room. Trump's written on the door. What do you think that means?
And swastikas being
swastikas being flown literally.
People's, traditional clothing just ripped off their freaking heads and stuff. It's horrible.
Walmart. This woman was told this is not allowed anymore. Another woman saying to her, "This is not allowed anymore. Your hijab. So go hang yourself with it around your neck, not on your head."
This is the other thing, right? Everyone's racist. We know this, but like and it's very clear. But this is the same feeling when I get catcalled. I just go, who, right? Like, what?
Right.
Are you a swamp demon? Like, do you not have common decency?
But they still know, because it's to get away with something. I've never seen a man catcall a woman in front of his mother.
No, of course not.
Like, oh, I see, son. You were hoping maybe she'd run after the car.
Right. It's always like this. It's almost like a perversion. Like, hate is almost a perversion. It makes people feel good. And this is where the privilege, like that woman who's yelled to the other woman in Walmart, like, there's such a warped vision when you don't recognize your privilege, when you don't understand oppression and how it interacts in these systematic ways. You cannot sit there. You just go, I am better.
Right.
So I can treat these people they are thinking you are less than.
Yeah. And
hands
then it's
down,
easy
you're not
to
a
treat
person.
Anyone anyway if you're dehumanizing them.
Exactly.
And yeah, I feel like I agree. I think a lot of that was like bubbling beneath the surface. And I think that's why a lot of the polls were so wrong too, is because people, they knew it was wrong. They didn't want to say that they were, they didn't want to admit that they were voting for Trump, or they said they wouldn't vote at all. And then they were like, you know what? Actually, this is my chance to say, to vote for me and vote for I am better and get those people out of my country. And then that's what happened.
Right. Right. And there's, I mean, listen, and especially Hitler's comes up a lot, right? He's coming up a lot. And again, as a Jewish person, it's talk about the Holocaust, blah, 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 blah. But there's a lot more than the Holocaust, right? There's so many genocides. There's so many genocides of people of color that we don't equate.
Yeah.
And even as and Jewish person, it's 6 million people, so many as Jews, and 11 million people overall. We never speak, like, we talk about the Holocaust. I think a part of it is also because it was, very recently, and it was Europe, but it was whiteness and Europe. Why? That's why we go there. We're not talking about all these other horrible genocides that's happened to people of color because we belittle them. So that's
or we
why
think that's something
that's different.
It's something else. They're barbaric,
right?
Or that's what they do,
right?
But this, when it could happen to white people, that's when people start to get afraid.
Exactly.
But apparently, our memory is so fucking short. Our memory is so fucking short that they took away Trump's Twitter for 4 days, and it fucking worked.
Right.
That's it. That's all he needed to win the presidency.
Exactly.
Just don't tweet for 4 days.
Right.
We're that dumb as a country.
But picture those 4 days of him sweating it out. not be
Oh,
able to share
God.
his thoughts.
That does cheer me
Bouncing
up.
off the
Thank you,
wall. I
Gabe.
know. Well, that was one tweet that I saw. Someone wrote like the only solace, like the only pleasure I take out of this is knowing how miserable he's going to be to have this job.
Right. No, during those 4 days, he's just yelling out the window.
Oh yeah.
Rosie O'Donnell is still a fat pig.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to bed, honey.
I mean, that's what it is. It's the same thing. Like if anyone had any consciousness, we'd realize that who ISIS is killing the most is people of their own faith, right? Like that's who they're killing is people. Muslims are their biggest people who are getting killed by ISIS.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that because it doesn't matter. That's it.
That's not our issue.
Exactly. When they attack France, that's when we have a problem, not when they're blowing up something in a place with brown people.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is for Colorado, who's the 6th state to have the right to die law. So
Oh,
if things
sweet.
get
I
too
know.
scary, you can join in with Washington, Oregon, California, Vermont, Montana.
There were some good things that got very pushed us that no one's talking about.
Well, marijuana, you're going to need it, right? Maine, Massachusetts, Nevada, and California passed measures legalizing recreational marijuana. Arizona's initiative to legalize recreational marijuana failed with a 52% majority. Should have started with that. It sounded like I teased people in
Oh, yeah, but
Arizona.
it's come on.
Montana, North Dakota, Arkansas, and Florida all voted to legalize medical marijuana. Minimum wage. Washington, Arizona, Colorado, and Maine voted to increase the minimum wage in their states. South Dakota's measure to lower minimum wage for minors did not pass, which is good.
Good.
I didn't know that could even be a thing.
Yeah, no
I want to
kidding.
lower it.
You can lower it?
Pay them in jelly beans. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, South Dakota?
I mean, that'll be of great comfort when we're all waiting in bread lines.
Exactly.
They're 16. Who are they going to tell?
Right. So-
Gun control. Washington passed a measure that allows courts to prevent individuals exhibiting mental illness from having access to a gun. Nevada voted.
What about white people? Because they're the main cause of the mass shootings.
Right.
Is anyone,
White men. Does anyone want to talk about that?
Can we
Easy.
check them out before we give them a gun?
White men.
Anybody?
I'm hearing a couple hens in the room. Easy. Nevada
me
voted
nuts.
in favor of more stringent background checks, while California approved expanded restrictions on purchasing and possessing ammunition. Maine's background check initiative failed on a narrow margin. Tobacco. Out of the 4 states with measures to increase taxes on tobacco, California's was the only to pass. Income tax. Both California and Maine passed measures that will increase income tax on wealthy individuals. They were the only states with a proposed income tax increase on the ballot this election.
Okay, some decent stuff in there.
Right.
But
It's so the whole gun thing. I can't. The background check thing is so. It's like, should we not have license and passports either? Like, should we all just be dry? Like,
yeah.
do you know what I'm saying? Like, should we not have any measures at all for anything?
right. I guess not.
It's like to be against a background check is ass. It's just ass. I mean, it's asinine. I will look right into the camera and say it's freaking ass. It's so dumb.
I completely agree. Yeah.
You ladies are having opinions like men. I like it.
Thank you.
Yes.
We tried. We've had to work through a lot of internalized patriarchy to speak up.
The treasurer of Oceanside, California, was reelected. You hear these kind of stories every so many years, even though he's dead. Gary Ernst, 61, died on September 23rd. Before his name could be removed from the ballot, he still beat out the challenger.
Can you imagine? Oh, that's poor
Imagine being the
challenger.
challenger.
Oh God, no birthday cake. It's gonna make him feel better.
Right.
You lost to a dead man. Oy.
All right, I do have some fun news.
Okay.
Please.
My wife has the company Best Self Company. She has the Self Journal, a journal that holds you accountable to better your life. They now have the endorsement of Daymond John, the owner of and creator of FUBU, the Shark Tank member, as the People's Shark. I didn't know he was the People's Shark, but he rates this. As the People's Shark, I'm always on the lookout for new resources to share with my fellow entrepreneurs. The Self Journal was a no-brainer. Writing down my goals has been one of my daily rituals for years and is something that I truly believe in. Write it down, visualize it, make it happen. The Self Journal has only made this easier and more productive. It is a must for every aspiring entrepreneur. Daymond John. Use code SHARK for 15% limited time only. Take a look at selfjournal.com.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
So nice. And she got to meet a shark.
And it's they knew each other from when she won that Shopify award. We'll put up a picture. Here's him using the Self Journal on the Shark
That's
Tank
huge.
set.
Nice.
I told Adam, my friend Adam, I go, look at this. This is exciting. Adam thinks he's nailing my wife.
Huh?
Yeah. You don't think so?
No.
Probably not, right?
No.
Hello, sharks. My company is Daymond John, please stop fucking my wife. Now, sharks, we all know someone that has a wife or knows a wife that Daymond John probably fucked. We would like this to end. I am asking for $10 for 100% of the company. You know the power of a shark. They bite like a pit bull. I would like one of you sharks on my side. And Mark Cuban, you know, he'd be like,
Yeah.
I love it. These fucking wives, it needs to end. But I don't want him to hate me and fuck my wife.
Exactly.
For that reason, I'm out.
I'm out. I love that you were like, you know, sharks, they bite like pit bulls.
And then Daymond John's like, you know what? Not only am I going to buy your company, I'm going to keep fucking your
I'm gonna
wife.
fuck your wife.
And then I got to go, thank you for your time.
Exactly. Thank you. I don't know.
Seems
Maybe I should have asked for
pluses and minuses.
$5 instead. Everyone loves that show.
Yeah.
People love that show.
I watch
I've
it in
never
spite
seen
of
it,
myself.
people
Like,
love it.
my wife watches it, and I'll be like, all right, if this is, I hope they get it.
Can
Yeah.
I
hope
give
they
a quick
get their funny.
scoop? It's
Sure.
relevant.
Yeah.
It's our next flavor of the month on the Keith and the Girl Network is called the Shark Tank.
Ooh.
And it's Steven Spinola is the king of sharks, and it's a similar format. So look out for that.
Wow.
There's sharks. Do you poop your pants too much?
Oh my God.
We all do.
That's so funny. I actually, my stomach virus, I sharted twice. I'm not going to lie. I just had a stomach
You're
virus.
so brave.
And I sharted twice in one day. I never thought that would happen.
There's always a revelation when you're here.
Yeah.
I get nervous when you're here.
Oh yeah. I'm like, I have no holds. What do I care?
No, I've been
Come
trying
on.
desperately to get the hashtag burn 2016 to the ground
Yeah.
going, and I can't imagine why it's not trending.
Come on, guys.
This is all I want.
I sharted twice this year. Give Libby her gift.
Come on. It's been a horrible year. I
been a
think
horrible
we can
year.
all agree.
Everyone's dying. Just come on.
Leonard Cohen died,
Exactly.
82 years
it down.
old. Yeah. People ask me how did he die? I don't know. He took too many throat lozenges. How did he die? He's 82. He's dead. How did he die? Too many people told him Jeff Buckley did it better. And he couldn't take it.
Probably some sort of cold and broken victory march. Is that how
Oh,
he died? Probably.
that was smart.
Did I mangle that, Danny?
You did good.
In October 2016, he released You Want It Darker. Severe back issues made it difficult for him to leave the house, so his son Adam placed a microphone on the dining room table and recorded him on a laptop. The album was met with rave reviews. A New York Times article timed its though a New York Times article timed to its release revealed that he was in very poor health. I am ready to die, he said. I hope it's not too uncomfortable. That's about it for me. Later, he said he was exaggerating, saying, quote, I've always been into self-dramatization. I intend to live forever.
How long did between the album coming out did he die?
The album came out October 2016. So
Oh wow.
a month.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Well, we got one last, hurrah from
Right.
him.
Well, let me give people a word of advice. The world's tough out there. You don't need any new surprises. I saw the movie Inferno, the third Da Vinci Code movie.
Yeah, how was
A
it?
little background. I loved the first one. Hated the second one. This third one, I walked out within an hour.
For real?
I walked. I'm
For
like,
real?
Yeah, I'm like, I know you're setting something up, and I can give a fuck.
Wow.
Is
So
it
walkout
still Tom
is big
Hanks?
because you paid for it.
Yeah.
Well, he
yeah.
has a.
But I still pay for the movie pass, so yeah, I do see.
Oh, you have a movie. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I still pay. I still pay, and my wife's teaching me time is money.
There's a thing. Oh my God, my friend Matt has told me this 9,000 times, and I keep forgetting it. But like where you won't, like where you eat. It's a psychological term that I literally can't remember, and he's told me it so many times. Where you like, if you bought a salad but you hate the salad, you continue to eat it. Like you sit through a movie because you paid for the ticket.
Right.
Like that. It's a real psychological thing.
Yeah, it's a big deal for me to walk out of a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And
yeah,
who doesn't like Tom Hanks? I walked out of the movie and I went to a Chet Hayes concert. That's how bad this was. Yeah, it's horrible.
The only time I walked out of a movie was when I saw Daredevil.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, with Ben Affleck.
yeah.
I was like, I can't take this. I don't want this
I have
anymore.
a soft spot for him. I
Yeah.
like him.
Oh, really? Even now?
Well, not lately. No,
Not lately.
But-
Not lately. Yeah,
yeah.
he really ruined it. He ruined it for himself
By fucking the nanny.
by fucking the nanny.
We take it personal.
Really? I mean, because, like, come on, you're fucking the nanny.
Yeah. Who's his girlfriend? I like her, right? We like her.
Wait, he has a girlfriend now?
No, he did.
Oh,
Right?
I don't know.
You,
don't.
you mean his wife? Who is
Yeah,
wife?
his
Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Gardner, right?
Oh.
right.
They met watching the shit movie Daredevil.
Oh no, but looking back, they should have known.
The show's great though. Have you seen the show, Daredevil?
I actually haven't watched Daredevil yet. I watched Luke Cage, which I still have like 2 episodes left, and Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones is amazing, obviously.
And you hear that they're going to have only female directors next season.
Yes. And then I get excited about that, and then I'm just like, that shouldn't even be a thing.
I know.
Like, I know. I so quickly am just like,
Yay.
Yeah.
There's a special, like I said, on Saturday, if you're hearing this live, a special Wrap It Up. I'm reading this right here. Join us for a special Burn 2016 to the Ground edition of Wrap It Up.
Thank you.
On November 12th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be having a live chat party / funeral for America in this special No Fucks Given edition of Wrap It Up. Call in with your post-election woes, or if you're a Trump supporter, let us know why. All callers welcome, she says. 646-502-8682. All right. Thank you. Now, don't forget, by the way, Loot Crate, of course, a new sponsor. All our sponsors, take a look at keithandthegirl.com/coupons. Thank you, everybody that's helping support Hemda. She's coming too, but she will, of course, still need radiation, that kind of thing. So you can support at keithandthegirl.com/tumor.
Yep.
Libby Phillips, LibbyPR.com, the Twitter account, at Raging Apathetic. No longer very apathetic?
Nope.
No, I'll have to change it.
And there you have it. Tracy Soren, thank you again so much.
Of course. I
You're
love
so
being here.
wonderful.
I love
Thank
it.
you.
She's a member of the indie improv teams Golf Oil and Fire.
Yes.
Find more info at her website at tracysoren.com. Twitter account is the same at Tracy Soren.
Keep it easy.